of May 2021. We're going across the Ottawa River on the McDonald-Cartier Bridge, and we're checking out the Freedom March on the Parliamentary Hill in Ottawa, the capital of Canada. It's right over there. Right in the middle of the river is where the province of Ontario starts. Ontario meaning beautiful water. Indeed, it is a beautiful day. And we are unhindered so far by any roadblocks of any capital enforcement units policing the lockdown.
We are being represented by unelected health officials. Unelected. The government is here to serve you. The government is here to serve you. We are living in a silent dictatorship right now. It's true. And our children are suffering and everybody is suffering. It's awful. And yet we need to stand together. We need to stand. I mean, this is a dictatorship. And our Charter of Rights and Freedoms has been suspended. So it's crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm trying my best.
From Sarah there, maybe.
Lockdowns are deadlier than COVID. Our children are having a mental health crisis. Children's suicide helplines are up by 300%. Our children need to be in school. We are being locked down by unelected health officials. Canada is the most locked down country in the world. All for a virus with 99.7% survival rate. Your Charter of Rights and Freedoms has been suspended for the last 14 months. Section 1, Section 2, and Section 7. You have the right for freedom of assembly, for freedom of expression, and for religious liberties.
Read a book, you fucking stain.
Our Premier, Jason Kenney in Alberta, is a failure, and our pastors are being arrested on the streets. We now have underground churches in Canada. This is an abomination.
It sure is.
Amen.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I just noticed this man being obviously upset with your statements or the fact that you're standing here. I wondered if you get more positive or more negative reactions. I mean, it's almost 12 o'clock, right?
More positive for sure. Lots of honking, a lot of support. Of course, you're always going to have some people that don't agree with you, and that's fine by me. They have a right to feel the way they want to feel as well.
How long have you been here?
I have been protesting maybe 2 months now, every Saturday from 10 a.m. and we start our march at noon and we meet at Parliament Hill every Saturday.
And today?
And today we will be starting our march soon. We need to stand together.
How long have you been here today? Since 10?
No, I got here 11. I was running late.
Because it's an extremely dry day and I feel everybody is really committed to spend such a beautiful part of the weekend in a public space like this, trying to
stand up for the people who are suffering, the suicides, the overdoses, the children. I mean, we need to stand together. We are living in a dictatorship right now. This is what a dictatorship is. But we need to know our history in order to understand it, right? Because Hitler's favorite line was, "This is for your safety," when he tricked all the people into not liking the Jews and thinking they were dirty people. And all we've been hearing, the propaganda for the last 14 months, is this is for our safety. We need to open up our history books again and start reading it again.
I really want to add that I find it very hard to look to any kind of sources to turn to. Therefore, I've been enjoying coming here on every Saturday as much as I can, because you see a lot of like-minded people who otherwise also feel isolated and rejected, discriminated against. And those are effectively always the people who stand up for freedom. And it's a fantastic place to meet them and get engaged and get on board and get active.
Amen. Come on out and come join us. Come stand strong, Canada.
Is there a website involved that you'd like to plug at this point?
No, we do Freedom Forum Canada, or if you want some good news, you can check out the newspaper Druthers is very good as well. We have a lot of people fighting for us right now in the Supreme Court of Canada. We will win. We will win.
Excellent. Thank you so much, dear.
Okay.
Hi. How's everybody?
It's going great today. It's beautiful once
Yeah,
again.
amazing weather, eh?
And the people, different groups of people.
That they've always wanted to do, but they never dared do that because they didn't know where the next month's paycheck was going to be coming from. So when you take that insecurity, that stress out of people's lives, they are so much healthier. You see tons on the health costs. That's also good. So I was in my 20s at university studying biology. I just had started my first semester at the University of in 89 when I was watching the television to see that my normal just was hammered and chiseled away at. And it's taken away and everybody went where they wanted to go. It was just an amazing experience.
Yeah, it seemed just come out of nowhere, you know.
Do you think the situation right now has anything in common with that time when you were actually in Germany?
Yeah. Well, you know, like with the Stasi in the East, and I've seen a lot of comparisons to the way people now they're calling the bylaw and the police on their neighbors and stuff. That reminds people of what East Germany used to be like, you know. And that's, you know, when you set up like a snitch line, you can call and like report people and stuff. It's like, it brings out the worst in people, right?
It's so wrong.
Are you gonna walk or?
I'm going to try to capture
Okay.
everybody and then I'll be over to Elgin Street, I believe.
Okay.
I'm coming up in there.
Okay, all right. It was nice talking to you.
Renata, very nice talking to you. Just took the mask off. Standing on Elgin Street, just south of the War Memorial, facing south as an anti-Lukashenko demonstration, Free Belarus demonstration, comes up marching north, right in front of the National Art Center. Protest in favor of Free Belarus. Here on Elgin and Rideau. My name is Maren Moltan. I'm here for ouhmmmh.net. Thanks for tuning in. The Freedom March in Ottawa, the capital of Canada, coming up the hill towards the Parliamentary Hill on Elgin Street. Today is Saturday, the 29th of May, 2021. This is Maren Moltan for ouhmmmh.net. Visible that the march is in part on the street, as at the sidewalk, just about in front of Town Hall and the Lord Elgin Hotel on the other side. 2021, this is Martin Molton for a Broadcom.net. The Ottawa, Canada Freedom March, every Saturday, 10 a.m.
Natural immunity! Natural immunity! Keep wearing your poly mask like you're matching underwear!
Hello.
And I'm going to put it up tonight.
I wonder if there is a church community. I think there's just like a lot of different Christians, whether they're Protestant or Catholic, that are here, you know, because we're about freedom. We're about, you know, supporting the rights of individuals, especially the, you know, most marginalized. I mean, we came here, I came first to the March for Life, you know, freedom starts in the womb, right? Aaron, I mean, that's my thing. So this is just a perfect segue.
You see, that's why I find so important. Everybody has a right to have a position and opinion, but the freedom to worship as you see fit is guaranteed in the Canadian Bill of Rights. And I think seeing that the churches in Alberta are so much under attack, people are being intimidated who have done nothing but donated to the community and given to the community. That should be worth some solidarity, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So where exactly do you live? You said north of Kingston?
Yeah, north of Kingston, about an hour north of a little town called Westport. And you sort of loosely refer to it as a carum of hermits. And this young man behind us, Father Anthony, there's about 7 of us that have we didn't do it intentionally, but we've all sort of ended up within about an hour, you know, of each other. And
you come together for service.
Pardon me?
You come together for service regularly as
no,
well?
No. We're hermits. So we're more, and especially right now, we're kind of underground priests that sort of are able to minister to the people when the churches are closed, right? Because the officials, the bishops and so on, of course, have had to comply with civil ordinances and so on. And so we find ourselves kind of technically retired. And so when...
That is so interesting.
Yeah, so we live as hermits, and hermits are basically religious. We take vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. We're canonical hermits, so you're under the bishop. But we're, you know, don't contact, you know, the bishop would be saying to us, like, you know, don't contact us, we'll contact you. And then that's generally the end of it, because they're very, very, very busy, you know, trying to just survive in this day and age. So we by default slide right into a very nice little crack where we can have people, you know, we go, I'm going to be saying Mass tomorrow for some friends near Carp. I'm having a priest over a little later. Tomorrow is the celebration of the Trinity Sunday. And so I've got a priest coming to my hermitage, and we'll celebrate the Mass, the liturgy there. And that's our way of life. I say facetiously, we're retired, and so we're able to have a really fun, just grassroots on the road, on the ground, as it were, ministry. And we've all had parishes, but now we're free. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
So you believe that you're going to be of greater service to the community that way?
Well, I think so, because I think the future of the church, we've seen it, with this sort of kerfuffle, this crisis, we've seen, where our church authorities, where the bishops need to default. They need to pander to the emperor, as it were, right? To the politics.
Explain that more.
Well, just because the hierarchy is like a headship, and headship needs to, it's intrinsically political. The Petrine church is a political institution. It's a creedal administrative institution. And so it always has no power other than, what is allowed by the civil hospice. I mean, the hospitality of the civil, the emperor, whether that's in China or in America, you're having to always choose to keep your institution relevant and accepted by the greater power, and that, of course, is going to be whatever government, whether they're anti-Christian, anti-Catholic or not. You've got to default that way. But the faithful are the essential church, what we call the domestic church, and that's the church that, is spiritual, and it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, it's an infinite, a combination of religion, right? There was always this mediating effect of any religious institution because it's an institution under the emperor. And there was always this, you call it, I mean, it was symbiotic in many times through history, and of course it was adverse at other times. Right? I mean, it was a very up and down, relationship.
Why
obviously.
do you think churches are under attack right now?
Because there's a rise of a very, very, very socialistic, communistic, neo-Marxist thing emerging from China. China has facilitated our very materialistic Western world. It's provided the golden arches and the Big Macs, and they're starting to flex their muscles, and I mean, we are in debt to them, most literally, and so they're starting to rise, and that's a lot of the underpinning of the political sort of, the whole political thing of COVID even. There's very, very large political agendas that, again, it's just a secularism eclipsing the individual. And that what do you call it? This socialism, this golden calf of socialism, really starts to come into its own at different times in history, and it eclipses the personal, the individual, religious, the family. So it's always a trade-off between the family and the emperor. Who has the essential power?
So it is the rooting in the church of the individual. So
in the domestic.
That is being eroded.
Well, that's always.
What happens when people gather? Ideas are being talked about. Evolution takes place.
And that's
invention takes place.
That's a micro. That's the family, and that's always
the local
directed. Economy.
Really, that's what that is in my eyes.
That's what we're doing right here. This is a really grassroots. Let us celebrate the individual rather than the conglomerate, the power structure of what society, provides as an institution. The father provides the nest. The father provides the nest. That's the social institution. It's always at the service of the mama, because the mama has the womb. That's the continuation. That's the embodied reality of the continuation of the human race. And that's what
we have here, please.
Okay, I'm Father Anthony Hannon. I'm a Catholic priest, and I have a YouTube channel called To Prepare His Way. And then I have a retreat center called In Fiam Pacis, which means Into the Way of Peace.
Why do you find it important that people participate in the march and this outcry for freedom for religion? What does it mean to you?
Well, freedom for religion is for all freedoms. I mean, the Catholic Church has always been against communism, socialism, totalitarianism, and I think it's important for me to come to as many of these things as I can, so that people know that although the kind of the official Catholic Church seems to be lock in step with all of the government measures and whatnot, that a lot of us, we don't see it that way. And there's other things at play. So that's, so I'm happy to answer anyone's questions about all that, but
what's the best way?
We have to follow the truth, we have to follow the truth.
What is the best way for anybody wanting to reach out to you to get in touch with you, sir?
Go to my YouTube channel, To Prepare His Way. In the description, there's the link to my website. And then go to the contact page. Okay?
I'm sure we're going to talk more on some other occasion, and thank you so much for making time for me today.
God bless you, Miriam.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Same to you.
I saw your YouTube video that said, who are those people? But what did you mean by no one vetted them? What did you mean by that?
Oh, well, as a journalist, I try to... It's a great question. I'm happy that you asked me that.
Manifest your own dreams and happiness by
It's a bit challenging right now, but when I report from places where I don't know people and I don't have background with them, I need to vet them. That means I need to ask somebody else who actually knows them, knows about their background, has previous ties with them, has personal experience with it.
Where are you from
That's a
originally?
way to vet somebody claiming to be somebody.
Well,
And
anyway,
obviously I'm naturally blonde, so I need all the help that I can get.
You're funny. Where are you from originally?
I grew up in the Great Liberty, forever endowed to the Canadian cannon fodder GIs of West Germany.
Okay.
That's really what I consider a consequence of me being able to grow up in that freedom, and that's why I also feel it's very important as a somebody with a little bit of background in journalism and media. I produced lots of public media in Germany when I was still living in Germany. It's important to just maybe offer a counter perspective as an option to the mainstream for-profit representation and often misrepresentation of these demonstrations and protesters. So I always feel it's really, really good to talk to people on the spot and find out what really is their motive to be there, and they have all the right to be there, and we would like to attract a lot more people to come here and stand with us for these freedoms that so many soldiers fought so hard for.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons, like I'm drawn to more solitude. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I live, although you were talking to Father Will, who's a canonical hermit, I'm not a canonical hermit, I'm a diocesan priest. These are maybe fine distinctions for people, but the fact of the matter is, I don't like coming in the city, I don't like crowds, I'm an introvert. But when I see all of these rallies and I don't see priests there, I say I think I have to go. So it's kind of a burden, so to speak. And so that's why I come down. I don't know how many of these I can come to every Saturday because it is a 2-hour drive for me. But I was here on July 1st, August the 29th, February the 14th. I was in Cornwall last fall, Toronto last fall. And sometimes I just get this kind of thing, I gotta go because no other priest is gonna be there. And although I do know priests that are, they can see what's going on, they're really stuck between a rock and a hard place because they have assignments where they're being pressured to enforce the protocols. So that's why they're basically not coming out. But maybe with me and Father Will, maybe we can start getting some other priests to come out. And then I wouldn't have to come down here. But I wouldn't be nice people like you, but that's the way that works.
Thank you so much. I feel exactly the same about everybody I meet here. Coming up to Island Park. Bridges. We have some roadblocks, and that is Ottawa Police controlling who's coming into the province of Ontario. Okay. Meanwhile, in the province of Quebec, the completely unconstitutional and so declared in court curfew has been lifted on that very day, Saturday, 29th of May, 2021. The question is if there's going to be sûreté on the other side. Wondering who's coming into Quebec. No controls who is coming into the province of Quebec. It's an absolute mystery. How not this noon. Well, 10:30 we went by here this morning. Terraces were empty. Now there is a few people finally. Look at that. Outside dining, Heureka. What did it take? Let's see the other places. Okay, there's a few people here.
They got a few people in.
Finally.
Yeah.
Kind of on the coldest Saturday that there was. Meanwhile, the other ones were like 10 degrees warmer. Right?
Yeah, thank God they got a few people in there.
Today is Saturday the 29th of May. Oh, now he's stopping somebody? What is he doing? Come on. Yeah, I just can't believe this. Here, this is Maren Moltan for a Broadcom.net. Today is Saturday the 29th of May 2021. Thanks for tuning in.